Monday, April the 12th, 2021 for the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Scottsburg. This starts at 5:30, and so we're going to call our meeting to order. And first we'll go to the roll call by Clerk Treasurer Jan Hardy.
Mayor Amy.
Here.
Karen Gracious. Here. Tom Lewis.
Here. Next we have the approval of the minutes of the March 22nd meeting. It seems like it's been so long ago, but we'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented unless you see any type of revisions or additions or subtractions that need to be added.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Karen Grisham makes the motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Unanimous, thank you. Okay, so the next is the department heads. Miss Bixler.
Yes, sir. Got a couple things for you. The first is I would like to ask the board's approval to pay for our NPDES renewal permit with item for the sewer plant. It's $50 that'll be paid outside of the meeting sometime this week so that Chase can mail that check with his application.
What permit is it again?
It's National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System renewal permit. NPDES.
Just rolls off your tongue.
Yeah.
Rolls off.
And that's a $50 renewal fee, and he'll just need to mail that check with the application sometime this week. So I'd like permission to pay that outside of a meeting.
I'll make the motion to pay that.
Tom Lewis makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Karen Grisham seconds. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Perfect.
Unanimous, thank you.
The next thing is the Parks Department moved into the old electric department building back last February, and their electric was on the same meter as Watson Signs, who rents that building out. So I would like permission to write a check to be applied to Watson Signs electric bill to compensate him for that for $1692.60, and that's for a year's worth of usage. I went back, he was in there a full year before Jerry got in there, so I took his average consumption before, subtracted that from the average consumption after, and he used about 1,100 more kilowatts each month due to the Parks Department being on that same meter. But that issue is resolved now. They're both separately metered and paying their own bills.
Okay. I will make the motion to pay that.
And I will second.
1,100 at what rate? 7.8? 8 cents a kilowatt?
I put it in our consumption calculator in our billing software. The monthly bill on that would be $141.05 for 1,105 kilowatts.
Okay. Okay, so Tom made the motion, Karen seconded. Any questions, comments, concerns? I guess I made my question to Ms. Bixler, and I'm doing that better.
Yes, you're right on it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, thank you very much.
And the only other thing I had for you guys was the adjustments for you guys to sign off on, for you
Yeah.
guys to review. So,
You had very little adjustments, you only
Yeah.
had 3.
yep, can't complain about that. But
No
pool
pool,
filling,
no pool fills this
no,
time.
not yet. It's coming though.
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
Last time we had a pool fill or 2.
Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Next, we have Chief Zellers.
I just want to brief the board quickly. I don't want to mention a name because I haven't officially got a letter, but I have an officer that has verbally and has also sent me a text message that he's going to resign from the department effective April 24th. So until I get that letter, resignation that I present to the board, I don't want to say his name on the records here until we get it. But just so the board knows, so we can be proactive, we've been through this more than we want to the last 2 or 3 years. We have started a process again, just the basic, doing our required advertising. We sent a message to the Crowsville Time to get it in there, and we put it on our Facebook page. And I believe Major Harden has put it through the Academy's page also, in case anybody asks you about us in the hiring process, that's why. And when I get the letter of resignation, I'll get it to them. And it's for communication with him. It's just personal reasons that he wants to leave. I'm working with Jessica to get an exit interview paperwork to sit down and go through it. Just keep you guys in the loop of what's going on.
Thank you.
I don't have anything else, sir.
Scottsburg PD is one of the state's leading police departments as well. I mean, Scott's just done an excellent job of leadership, and so this individual is an outstanding individual as well, so we hate to see him go. And but just a great guy, and so, also Chief, we'll make the announcement too, we have, Chief gave us 3 cars to sell, we've sold 2 of the 3. And, so, haven't gotten a check on that yet, but it's an interlocal. And so we're looking at other interlocal agencies that might like to have an amazing deal on a 2014 Dodge Challenger's 2-door, Charger's 4-door. I always get those confused, just like Pinkley and Bixler.
One's 4-door, one's 2-door.
I know. Don, we kind of got to make a little
Folders
fit.
when you're a police officer, don't you? That's very helpful.
Chief, what else do you have for us? Anything
That's it,
else?
sir.
Okay. Big, do you have anything for us?
I do. I'll try to briefly go over these, but.
We went a little long last time. I don't have very much time tonight.
These are longer, but like I said, these are mostly updates instead of bringing up. The multicolor work, first couple on there, we've got one done, we've done it safely and no interruption of service. Unfortunately, the way they designed their building, now we've got to take the line down and back, do the same thing. So that, we've ordered stuff for it.
So you're saying this first page is multicolor?
Now, the first 2 items on the page.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, got you, right.
Indiana bottling, that transformer's not gonna be salvageable, so it's about a $14,000 transformer. We're trying to find somebody else to retank it. We think the core's still good, but I'll keep you abreast of what happens with it. We've got the 3-phase line extension for the asphalt plant started, a couple poles in the ground on it. The guys have also started on the Beechwood 3-phase extension, worked out the first pole in it. Problem we're gonna run into is procurement of materials for the underground subdivisions. Our transformers, we ordered some. We don't know how much we need of what, because we don't have plats and the way the layouts of these subdivisions are. Until we do, it's hard to order what we need, exactly what we need. Kind of a roll of the dice, looking at standardize what we have already. We went ahead and ordered about $14,000 worth of pad mount transformers. They will be here late next fall, perhaps winter. That's how far out we are. We have a few on the shelf, but we'll always keep at least a couple. We've got about 5 or 6 on the shelf. We'll keep a couple for our current paying customers, that, in case we got to replace something.
A transformer on a pole.
No, these are pad mount transformers.
Okay.
Transformers on the pole, I don't know how far out they are.
The transformer's just right underground.
Yes, big green box.
Big green box.
Tom's name.
Right. Yep. And how many of those do you have in stock now?
Probably 100, but there's all different sizes, all different voltages.
I got you.
And sure to make a time meeting out of that. The number, item 7, the rebuild of the line, I touched on that last time. Terry, you and I had talked once before about an easement, because the people that used to do our easement no longer do it, and you said that you could handle that, or you could get it, or you have a source that we've got. Before we can get that line started, we need an easement there on where the funny 4-way is on Lake Road and Lake Road. That I can get with you later on that, but we really need that easement before we can start putting poles in the ground on that project.
And you're going from there up to the water plants, where are you going?
It goes
To
from
Miranda
the
Lane?
Science Park around to Miranda Lane, correct?
Does the city own property that goes behind the science park? It looked like there was a path down that way that connects over to West Lake Road West.
We don't own through there like behind Mount Thomas and over,
No.
no, ours just goes straight
Straight
back
to
to
the
the interstate, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the path is.
Right. Okay.
One time I got there from the houses across from the dam of the lake. That might be the path they're thinking about.
No, this is a path that is kind of in there now, and there may be need for water going through that way too, so I was just wondering about that as well. So, sorry, go ahead.
Item 8, solar project for IMPA. We got an issue with backfeeding our transformers. They put some instrumentation in our substation now that if the load's getting light on the station, their solar panels will back off. They haven't tested it, they just got put in. Lights at Hidden Meadows. That's one that needs a little time here. Your first page back, we got a request to light that subdivision. Typically on a subdivision, whoever builds it, develops it, puts the lights in, we inherit. We give them the specs of what the lights we want. They put those in, and then when the city takes over the streets, we take over the lights. This one didn't get any lights put in. The red stars on here, there's one orange star be at the northern part of the page, that's an option. But the red stars would be the locations of the lights. The little green squares is that we have electrical boxes, either a transformer or a pedestal. So that's why the location, what determines the location of the lights. The back page is the price of those lights, which is $12,196.67. And that's strictly the light post, the base, and the lamp itself. Now, we can put wooden poles in there, which is what we would do in a typical neighborhood, and we can do that for around $1,500. So, the electric department just does it, and then we can recover the money on the wooden poles by the light rental to the street department. The ornamental poles are a little different animal. They're obviously they're 12,000 versus 1,500. They're about 10 times as much. So we don't have to have a decision tonight, but just making the board aware. Typically, a neighborhood like that's going to have the ornamental lights. But also, typically,
Why, if the subdivision developer didn't put them in, how did he get away with not putting them in?
This subdivision went back to the bank, and there was already homes there, and there was another developer that came in, and it's just been a contiguous.
But is it a requirement that the developer puts the lights in?
way we've always
We could-
voted now. Honestly, I think.
Three plans not here right now, so
They're the ones that
I think that,
govern that.
is that correct,
Be a part
Josh?
of the development plan typically.
Who is it?
Development plan would have been a part of the development plan at that point in time. I don't, well, probably would have been together with the county. I think that would have been during that window of time, so I have no idea.
I mean, I think this is a valid thing, you're saying, Bink, so basically you're stating that, we need to decide whether we want to go wood or whether we go an aluminum metal, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
the aluminum with the acorn tops, that's what makes them expensive. But the street, if we just put them in like we would, like a normal request from the street department, we'd put a 25 or 30 foot pole, there would be no overhead lines. We'd still run underground conduit up the pole, and then put a $150 lamp on top of it versus.
Are these LED lamps?
Yes, please.
Thank you. And you
Where's
said,
Hidden Metals?
I'm sorry.
Where is Hidden Metals at?
the metal
Behind the old
behind
Pizza Hut.
the old Pizza Hut.
Cold
Oh,
Lane.
okay.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, that developer has then purchased the property just west of them, and they're going over there as well. So we've got approximately 7 subdivisions on our board now, 3 of which are goes, but that addition's I'm not part of my original set. So that's gonna be another 12 houses or so.
Mayor, is that anything we should research the development plan before the city?
I think we should. I mean, I don't see why we should go, the city should go back and pay for lights if the developer is supposed to put them in. If they're not, then I understand it. Yeah.
And the caveat is that the city does, my understanding, I think Jason said that they do have we own the streets there.
We've adopted the streets.
So once we adopt the streets, we're responsible for the
Yeah,
streets.
I understand the running around, but I'm thinking future, if more developments are coming,
Yeah.
we don't have to do this every time. Unless that's the normal way to do it.
Well,
I'm asking a question, I don't know.
What we're doing in the future is we're looking at residential tip, and as a result of that, the city would be putting all that in.
Okay.
Can we use TIF to purchase these lights?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I shouldn't say no. Josh, what do you think?
Potentially, it'd be up to them.
Yeah, probably potentially you could. So I shouldn't say no.
How do I get an answer?
Come tomorrow morning at 8:30 to redevelop.
No, they don't like to be last minute on something.
Sorry.
It'd have to be in May. I'm sorry.
There you
I've
go.
read
Yeah, you're
into
right,
that.
you're right, my fault.
That just, I've got plenty to do. I'm not saying everyone's gonna do these lights. I'm just trying to get answers.
Glad we put it off for a month.
Yeah, I know. Jim,
Yeah, 3
you
to
have
4
to break
years
down
to do
tomorrow.
fine.
Okay, what else you got, buddy?
Pole attachment agreement has been delivered to Spectrum. Thank you very much, Mrs. Leslie. That we haven't heard back from that I know of.
Not yet.
So we're waiting on that. Real quick, item 11, we've been looking at new billing software to bring us, as the mayor says, out of the 80s and into this century. One of the advantages of the new billing software, and Jill's been working on this, and as well as Leslie, once we get some more details of what it's going to be, the idea is a lot of our prepaid metering years ago, we had issue with a lot of people moving out, not paying, and us writing off a huge sums of money. With this, we can eliminate that because we do our prepaid metering, and we can also implement a time of use. And at a later meeting, I'll explain why time of use is going to be very important to hold the residential rates here in Scottsburg down. Because right now, our residential rates are, we're suffering with them, let's just say it that way, the electric department as a whole. Steel poles around the courthouse, item 12. Thank you very much, Jerry. You painted 3 of them. You might want to take a look. I found about 7 more could use it. But he did good about getting I believe it was some inmates that helped him out and done that. But anyway, thanks to Jerry Asher for doing that.
So you need to paint 3 more,
At least. But
4 more.
I hate to reward good work, but more work. But, yeah.
We didn't get them all, I just saw the 3.
Yeah, there's.
So you get more around the court. What'd you paint them for to begin with?
What's that?
What'd you paint them for to begin with? I mean, what'd you paint them to begin with?
I don't know, 1960 or something, they were probably painted. But they are old steel poles.
Is there steel poles? They're not aluminum?
No,
Okay,
no, they are all steel.
okay, very good.
Those were some of the first high post lamps in the city. Item 13 just came at me today at 3 o'clock. I don't know if you were aware of it or not, but they're going to be moving some large loads through the city. Large as in 25 foot tall, 24 5-foot wide. This is a disaster for us.
How tall is your lines?
Well, our minimum is 16 foot. That's for communications and our neutral lines sometimes. I went and counted before this meeting 49 crossings. Probably roughly half of them are push-ups. It's a coated wire, I'll put a hot stick on it, push it out of the way. But of concern is they're going under 2 of our transmission lines, or our transmission lines are going under twice, and we have underbuilding. In other words, no room to go. So we've got to do some serious looking at what we can do, and I'll probably suggest to this board that we ask them to hire contractors to move this stuff out of their way. I don't know how this is going to work. Like I said, about 3 o'clock, this got dumped in my lap. There's an email.
So who's this company doing this?
There's an email that's second page from the end, and that's what I got at 3 o'clock.
So they're paying for this then?
I had no idea. Like I said, it was dumped in my lap, and they said, we didn't even know you existed. We knew about Clark County, Duke, and Jackson County. They're moving equipment out of Jeffersonville to Mitchell and Levy said. But yeah, this is,
Keep us posted on that.
They want to check from Jeffersonville to Mitchell?
asking
Coming
here.
here to Scottsburg.
That's crazy.
Well, there's
160 shut
the
down.
original route, I'm sorry.
160 shut down in Salem.
Okay, the original route that the state let out to work for it, so they shut it down. I didn't know which road it was, but I didn't know where it was.
Salem's bypassing the 60 or 160, both are shut down right now for the rest, while they're doing work.
Looks like to me they'd be better to go out 64 and going through that
Well,
one.
how are they going to get over to Mitchell if they don't go from here to Salem? Were they going up to
They can go up to Salem, but you can't get from Clark County into Salem. That's the roads that are under, so they'd have to come through here and either go up through Brownstown or go up and cut over.
They can't go on the interstate because they're too big.
Yeah, those overpasses are like 18 foot.
Oh, wow. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Kind of arm as us.
Well, keep us posted, Hank, on that. When are they doing this?
Well, they want done May 10th. And
May
it
10th.
lasts, I think it's, he spelled it out in here, it will last several weeks. So it's not a, okay, we cut it out of the way, move you through and put it back up. It's, we gotta do this over several weeks.
Do we charge for this?
I'm gonna do my best.
That'd be our attorney here.
I mean, can I get a copy? Take a look.
That answer is yes.
Thank you.
The electric is a lot easier, I know it sounds kind of backwards, than the fiber. I can cut an electric wire and I can splice it back together. I can cut a fiber and I can get it spliced back together in 2 weeks. It's a huge, huge difference if we got the room to move the fiber. So we've got to take that into account. Most of my electric, I'm not going to have to move it about 7 feet up or something. The fiber, it's got to go about 10, 12 feet up because it's running closer to the minimum. Again, I got this at 3 o'clock, so I've got a lot of homework to do on it. Just want to make the board aware, especially if you didn't know this was happening coming through town. This load's 24 foot wide, and that kind of takes up a little space too. Sure does. The electric, residential fiber build out. Karen, I know I told you last time we'd be in your neighborhood. We're going to try again this Thursday. We had run into a couple poles that had to be changed out to get clearance behind the Bull's Liquor. So we're working on getting those done tomorrow. And hopefully Thursday you'll see our trucks, our happy faces in your neighborhood pulling on the big fiber. The rest of that's just normal work. I don't see anything else worth mentioning here today, other than, we've got a lot going on as far as mapping the fiber and routing the fiber. Did get Stacy gave me a call, said IFN is requesting dark fiber from up here by the railroad, I won't say who, but right in this area, down to, they have to get it to their, where we meet them, where they have their heading equipment, which is 2 different locations in town, but I've mapped it and we can get it down into the electric department, so hopefully we'll get those contracts. Those dark fibers are nice contracts. Doesn't cost anything to the city other than allow them to use fiber. They have to light it on both ends and put all the equipment in. It's easy money, as they say.
Are you still under electric residential fiber build out for smart grid initiatives?
I just kind of dove to the bottom. Of the
What's number 6?
Summer interns for help. If we get this thing rolling out, and Stacy's starting to see what I told her she would, I said, this thing will snowball. I know what? When I built the wireless thing, and I started, there was 2 or 3 different ideas how to advertise and get this. All that media crap didn't work. Nothing like people saying, hey, I just got this, it's great. Word of mouth will sell, especially in town. So if things are going to roll the way I figure they will, we're going to be very busy, and figured summer interns might be a good way to help with the installers, to divide the installers up, give them a guy, and make this go. Just, it's food for thought, if you will.
Thank you. Are you done?
I am finished.
Okay. What question do you have for?
I've already asked mine. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Bing.
Quick advertising. I think I said something about last meeting. That's why I won the Hurpan Trophy last year.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yes, that is awesome. That
He's
is
got a
awesome.
few more months. It'll disappear out of here probably June, July, when the next, unless he wins it again.
Okay.
Oh,
You mean they pass it around? You don't get to keep that for life?
Do what?
You don't keep that for life?
Yeah, I do, because that is actually mine.
There you go.
I donated to IBA for the rodeo, so if you open that up, you'll see my name, phone number, and address on it. While the IBA is still having rodeos, it'll travel.
So how is the connectivity on where the solar park is? Are we doing any better there with that?
On the, they just installed that metering. We don't
Okay.
know how it's gonna work.
Okay,
One thing they were supposed to do, and I've not heard anything out of them, on the Lover's Lane bypass, where we're furnishing materials, they're supposed to come down and build it. Here we are in the middle of storm season, and kind of got our backside hanging in there.
okay, okay. Well, thank you very much. Does anybody have any more questions for Bing?
It was a little bit shorter,
Chief.
sorry.
They didn't do that.
Yes. I've got it. And thank you, Bink.
You're welcome.
And Ms. Bixler, you might have anything else for us? Oh, clerk treasurer.
I just need to, I would like a motion, if everyone approves the claims as presented, I would just like
I
to.
would make that motion.
And I will second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
Thank you, we'll get them paid.
Thank you very much.
Mail tomorrow.
Thank you very much. And thank you for going through these bills as well. You know, if you have questions, please ask. I mean, you
No,
know,
I do.
so, yeah, I do too. So thank you guys so much for looking at these claims and questioning these claims if you don't know what they are and finding the answers. You know, right now, new business, or is there anything for old businesses first? Old business? Old business going once, going twice? Old business, we're on. New business, claims we just did. So, give you a heads up, there is a groundbreaking tomorrow morning with the Scottsburg Wastewater Treatment Plant. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. This is a year-long deal to get the right engineering company to make the right plant, to find the right equipment, to get the right
When was that again, Terry?
price. It's tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. If you don't know where the Scottsburg Wastewater Treatment Plant is, go to 3rd Street North and go all the way till it stops. You're right there. Exactly. Well, no, you don't smell anything. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. It's great. But we have a fantastic plant going in. We're taking our current 1,350,000 gallons of water per day capacity, and we're doubling it to 2.75 million gallons per day. Our current rain event in those are 3 million gallons, and this will now be 7 million. So we're more than doubling the rain event. So this is going to be a great plant. We have literally gone, we just didn't take the salesman's word for it. You know, Scott's selling me a product, these stop sticks, Amy, are the best stop sticks you've ever seen in your life. Well, I want to go talk to the operator. So it's got that in there. So we literally went to Nashville, Tennessee. We've gone as far as Avon, up in Indianapolis, Columbus, Austin, North Vernon. So we've gone to different plants to talk to the operators to see, do you like it? And we've heard everything but, Tom, you want this for sure. This is like a pocket on a shirt. This is the best thing going. I had no problems. If I did have a problem, I could call them. I called them Christmas Day, and they were there and helped me out. Got all through this thing. 2, you don't want this. Whatever you do, I'm stuck with this thing for 15 years. The operators told you straight. So we've found a great plant, great equipment. So we're going forward. Now you're going to see all these bulldozers. We started 2 weeks ago, but we're having the official groundbreaking tomorrow.
We drove by last night, it looked good.
Oh, so it's going to be wonderful. I've never been excited about a sewage treatment plant, but now I'm like a kid at Christmas. So hallelujah. We are going to we've been talking about going to an automated sanitation system. We're probably not going to do that right now. We've sat down with the clerk treasurer's office, and we have to use some caution right now. We're going to get some stimulus money, but I think right now we're going to kind of watch to make sure that we're going to get the income that we're expecting, and if we don't get it, we're kind of coming down on safety sides right here, right now. So right now you can continue with the Sasco stickers. The bags are gone away with, and you can use whatever heavy bag you want. If you want the hefty, or you want the wimpy, whatever you want.
That's what you can afford.
Whatever you want. You know? So Larry, it's like us. We just got to keep moving. So they don't
I
get
do
us,
the
right?
in-between, the mediocre. I don't like wimpy, but I don't like hefty either.
But I'm going to make those same announcements at city council as well, but as well. So, but what else do we have for Board of Works?
I'm good.
Yeah,
Mine too.
Okay. Anything else? Clerk treasurer?
I have nothing.
Good. Mr. Stigdon?
I have nothing.
We're good? Jill?
Good.
Yes, we're good? Okay. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We're adjourned.